Sigma Male Diaries Podcast. Let's get on with it, y'all. Let's go. We can relax, have fun, get a good laugh, get information, and enjoy the show. I need to do what it do, baby.
You already know who it is. This is your host, Nigel McKnight of Sigma Male Diaries. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be showing a documentary in regards to Juneteenth from 1865 to 2021. But let's just say to present times. Now, why is Juneteenth so important? And why is it very, very important to know where the Democrat Party really started from, right? Where do they really stand? Whose side are the Democrats truly on? Specifically, when you look at what happened to the Black Republican Party. Ladies and gentlemen, the information that I'm going to show you guys in regards to this video is from news channel KHOU 11. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the show.
Have to think about the turmoil around politics.
The Democratic Party was conservative. The Republican Party was liberal. 1870 15th Amendment is what makes black men's right to vote constitutional. And this changes the political landscape of parts of the South that had large black populations. Black men start voting other black men into office. Some places had black sheriffs. So this immediately changes the politics of the South. So the Ku Klux Klan arises as the violent wing of the Democratic Party.
We're familiar with the KKK, but there were a number of white vigilante groups that existed during this time that terrorized African Americans.
By the early 1900s, the black community had already established itself with neighborhoods, businesses, and schools, but blacks still weren't considered as equal. With segregation and Jim Crow laws, they were still being treated like second-class citizens.
Segregation laws restricted every public space where Southerners could possibly make contact. When we say Jim Crow law, we're referring to legal segregation. Boston creates segregation laws in order to separate black and white passengers on city streetcars in the 1840s. People in Boston started to refer to the black section of streetcars as the Jim Crow section. They did that because Jim Crow referred to a popular minstrel figure. Early on, it was white performers, typically white men, who would blacken their faces using burnt cork, but Jim Crow was the most popular blackface minstrel character. So popular that many white people in the United States began to identify the name Jim Crow with black people.
Here in Houston, you really can't think about Jim Crow laws without thinking about the 24th Infantry, African American soldiers who found themselves here at Camp Logan and found themselves the victims of police brutality and Jim Crow laws and segregation.
Right, you're absolutely right. In the summer of 1917, the United States enters World War I. The U.S. military was still segregated. The military was constructing a training facility called Camp Logan.
So when these 700 black soldiers show up in Houston, Jim Crow is alive and well. And you got to remember, it's a new thing. And these soldiers had fought in the Spanish-American War, had gone up San Juan Hill, had fought in the Philippines. They weren't used to being treated as second-class citizens.
It all came to a head that August when Houston police officers were accused of attacking and killing one of the soldiers. Black soldiers of Camp Logan then marched from what's now Memorial Park to the city of Houston.
This was a push against Jim Crow authority.
Mutiny and rioting ensued.
It was a strike against police brutality.
16 white people were killed, mostly civilians. 4 black soldiers died. The deadly encounter led to the soldiers' court-martial, the largest murder trial in U.S. history.
I I saw the photograph of the trial. It blew my mind. Here are these 63 black soldiers surrounded by white soldiers with fixed bayonets on their rifles. And the caption said the largest murder trial in American history. And I had never heard anything about this, nothing.
In the end, 19 soldiers were hanged, and all but 8 of 118 soldiers charged were convicted for their part in the Houston riot of 1917.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my podcast and or my video in regards to Juneteenth, the importance of Juneteenth. Why are they procrastinating, they meaning the government, on giving Africans in America reparations, when they did in fact give China reparations in 1988? Not only that, they also included Chinese Americans within the hate crime bill, right? So if you were to do anything in regards to violence, discrimination, any form of hatred, guess what? That's a federal charge. Why don't the United States of America respect and uphold black lives as an equal in regards to human beings? Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my show, and this is your host, Nigel McKnight of Sigma Male Diaries. America, some of you might like what I say, but then again, some of you might not, but I definitely don't give a fuck, and I really don't. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe and be blessed, and pay attention next time you celebrate one of these pagan holidays, because yesterday, July 4th, that wasn't independence for black people. That was independence for white America. Y'all be safe, y'all stay blessed, and that matters. And I know some of y'all hope that I stay out, but I'm not.